Okay, hi guys, it's Carly here. I hope everyone's doing okay at this strange time in our lives. I know there's so many yoga videos out there. A lot of my friends are doing them and meditation videos, so that's great. I mean, watch as many as you can, find teachers that you like. But I'm here making another one just because I promised my people out there that I would make a video and I would just get it sent out there to the people I work with, my clients, schools that I work with, and the gyms as well. And yeah, I just want to say that at this time of change, this is also a really big deal for me. I never make yoga videos. I'm really shy on the camera, which you can see. And yeah, change is change, and ultimately, hopefully it brings something positive out of us, unravels some layers inside of us, and brings about some transformation. So here I am making a video. I never thought I'd make a yoga video. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. We're just going to go through a nice gentle flow, bring some of the heart rate up as well, and just balance out the body at this time. So bear with me because I really don't know how to get the ankles right. I'm going to use this angle to do some floor work, and then I might have to move you around to when I stand up. So bear with me, and then hopefully when Kasha gets back, she can help me get more angles. Okay guys, peace and love, and let's get started in a seated position, okay? So we're just going to come into a cross-leg position, and we're going to start by just moving that flesh away from the sit bones so we really feel grounded on the mat, on the floor. So I've got my mat on my rug, which isn't ideal. If you've got a hard surface, then put your mat on there. And if you haven't got a mat, then go ahead and use a rug or use a towel, something to just protect the knees, protect the joints, and something that makes you feel comfortable while you're practicing. If you feel okay on a wooden floor, then that's fine, but again, just protecting the knees and protecting the body. So let's go ahead and start by just feeling those sit bones really ground down into the mat. Find the hands in a comfortable position, so either palms facing up on the knees, you can bring them into the heart center, or you can just let them relax down into the lap. It's really whatever's comfortable for you. So I like to have my hands here on the knees, sometimes holding on to the index finger, and let's just start to slow the breath down. So if you're comfortable here, go ahead and close the eyes and just start to come inside the body. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And once we've slowed the breath down, we can just take a moment to observe the breath. Try not to bring any judgments to the breath. Just listening and noticing. As we start to notice the breath, see if there's anything else we can notice. Are there any strains in the body? Any aches? Any particular tension that we can feel somewhere? This really is a great time here in the start of our practice just to notice where we are with ourselves, where our thoughts are, where the body is. And instead of trying to change that, which we often think we should do, let's just observe it, maybe even accept it if we can, if we're there. If we're not ready yet to accept it, that's fine. but just trying to be okay with where we are. And let's just bring a little bit of intention into the body. So see if we can feel the spine lengthen a little bit. The crown of the head reach up towards the ceiling. Relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears. And let's just bring our hands to the heart center together now. Feel the energy coming out from the elbows. And let's take 5 deep breaths together. Inhale through the nose if we can. And exhale through the nose. So as long as that's possible and you can breathe through the nose, then let's inhale again through the nose. And exhale. And if we can't and the nose is blocked, then feel free just to breathe through the mouth. Inhale. And exhale. So third exhale. This time let's deepen that breath if we can. Inhale. Send the breath deep into the lungs, maybe expand in the rib cage. And exhale. Drawing the navel back towards the spine. Inhale, stomach expands. Exhale, draw that navel back towards the spine. And let's just gently open the eyes, come back into the space. Relax the hands down onto the knees. And just reach the hands out to the side. Inhale to lengthen the hands up. Bringing them up and over the head, press the palms together, and exhale to bring the hands down through the center of the body. And let's bring ourselves into a forward bend. So we're hinging forward from the hips, folding forward, bringing the elbows in front of the shins. And that's only if that's possible. I mean, work with your body, come down here if that's enough. Then we're going to extend the hands gently onto the mat. So here really what we want to do is feel the sit bones still grounded, feel a nice stretch in the back, and exhale to release the head as well. Softening the neck. And let's take 3 deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. And inhale. Exhale 3. And as we inhale, just grounding down through the sit bones. Inhale to roll up through the spine. Bringing the head last. Just let the hands drag up to the body. And again, reaching those hands out to the side. Inhale, taking that energy, taking that breath up. And exhale the hands to the heart center. So just take a moment here to dedicate your practice if you'd like to, maybe to yourself, to a loved one. And exhale to release. We're going to go ahead and reach the right hand down to the right side, pressing the palm firmly down. And inhale, the left hand comes up and over, reaching over to the side. So here we just want to ground down through that left hip and lengthen here through the arm. If we want to rotate and that feels comfortable through the torso here to open the heart, then we can take that small rotation. Again, working with the breath, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's take one last breath here. Inhale and exhale. And inhale just to bring ourselves back, lifting up, and just transfer the weight over to the left hand. Inhale the right hand up and over. Again, if you want to feel that rotation there in the torso, opening the heart up to the ceiling, then we can find that space. Otherwise, just facing forward and reaching up and over. Deep inhale, exhale. So on this side, I've come down onto my elbow, so I have a little bit more space. So feel free to lengthen that further, deepen that pose if you'd like to. And let's come back up. Good, just bringing our hands back to the heart center, inhale, and we're going to come into all fours. So what I like to do here is roll over the knees. So if you're comfortable to do that, just roll forward onto the knees. Otherwise, bring the legs to the side and comfortably come into all fours. So just bringing the knees underneath the hips, roughly hands are usually around underneath the shoulders. Now if you want to take them wider, that's fine. It's really about finding what's comfortable for your body. But that's just a general guidance to alignment. So we're going to keep the toes tucked under, bringing some energy here into the toes. And let's inhale to open the heart in some cat-cow stretches. Exhale, we're going to tuck the pelvis under, contracting the spine, and bringing the chin to the chest. Inhale to open the heart. And exhale, tucking the pelvis under, bringing the chin to the chest, contracting the spine. Inhale. And exhale. We'll take 2 more of these. So if you want to start to move with your own breath, then go ahead and move with your own breath. And then bring ourselves back into a neutral spine. Let's try to lengthen the crown of the head long and just gently feel the navel drawing up towards the spine. So we're finding that core strength there, engaging the stomach muscles. Let's gaze over the right shoulder into a little twist here. And if you want to, you can even twist the tailbone towards you, the sacrum. And back through the center to the other side. And coming back to the center. So keeping those toes tucked under, let's take a deep inhale. As we exhale, press into the toes, lift the knees off the mat and send the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Coming into our first downward facing dog. Let's take our time to find this pose. We want to press into the hands, the fingers. It's quite nice to spread the fingers nice and wide. And then lengthening the spine here. Now we don't need to press the heels down, but my heels naturally come down to the mat. So if it doesn't feel comfortable, then that's fine if the heels are gently floating. Let's go ahead and pedal the feet, so lifting one heel and then the other. Working with the breath. And just warming up the hamstrings here. Warming up the body. And then pressing the heels towards the mat. Again, they don't have to touch the mat, but feeling the energy draw down. Taking our focus back between the legs. And let's take 3 deep breaths. Exhale 1. exhale 2. And exhale 3. So inhale just to bring the weight onto the toes, lifting the heels, and exhale to drop the knees down and come into a child's pose. So bringing the sit bones down to the heels, keeping the arms nice and long, relax the elbows down, and then we want to bring the head down towards the mat so we can relax the neck, release the body. Now if the head isn't touching the floor, we can make some blocks with the fist and just release the head down. And if you do have a block at home, then you can place the block underneath the head and relax here. So we really want to make sure that the weight of the head is fully relaxed. So let's go ahead and take 3 breaths here. Deep inhale. Exhale 1. Exhale 2. And exhale 3. Inhale to press into the hands, lifting the body back up into all fours. And exhale, tuck the toes under, come back into downward facing dog. So just working with the breath here, we're going to bring ourselves forward, press into the toes, tuck the pelvis under, and sort of ripple the spine forward here. So we really feel each vertebrae as we come forward into a plank pose, drawing the navel up towards the spine, engaging the stomach muscles, and bringing the head in line with the spine. So from here, we're going to exhale to chaturanga. We can do this from plank, or we can drop the knees down and do this with the knees supporting us. Exhale. Inhale, bringing ourselves into upward facing dog. Relaxing the shoulders down, finding space here in the neck. And then on our next exhale, we tuck the toes under and come back into downward facing dog. So we'll take that 3 times. You can follow me and follow my pace, or you can just work with your own breath, which is probably a better thing to do, and we'll probably catch up together anyways. So inhale to come forward. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to come up into upward facing dog. And exhale into downward facing dog. Let's just take an extra breath here before we go into our next sequence. Inhale to come forward. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Take an extra breath. Inhale, last one. Coming forward into plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. And exhale into downward facing dog. So let's stay here for 3 breaths together. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. And inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale, slowly bring ourselves down onto the knees and exhale ourselves back into child's pose. So this time we're going to take the hands behind the back here, relaxing the arms behind us, releasing the head down. And breathe in deep into the back. We just want to slow the breath down here. Then taking an inhale, bringing the hands forward, pressing back to all fours, and again exhaling to downward facing dog. So we're going to bring ourselves up to standing, and we're going to go ahead and peel the right foot off of the mat, press it straight back behind us so the hips are in line, and then lengthen it up to the ceiling as we inhale, feeling the hips open as we lengthen the leg up. Using the breath here. Now if we really want to open that hip further, we can bend the knee and feel that rotation of the hip opening here. And then lengthening the leg again, inhale. Exhale to twist the hips so the hips become square again. Toes and knee point down towards the mat. And taking a deep inhale, bend the knee, bringing the knee forward. We're going to bring that foot all the way through to the hands. So like I've told most of you who know my classes, just go ahead and hold the heel here, the ankle, and bring the foot forward if you feel stuck in that position. And then pressing ourselves up into a high lunge. Sweep the hands up, inhale. And just start to roll the wrists here. So I know that my body is cut here and you can't really see me. I'm going to change the angle in a minute, but for now we're just lengthening the arms up and rolling the wrists. And then exhale, we're going to bring our hands back down, soften the knee, and come into a low lunge. So bringing the hands onto the right knee and just sinking yourself down into that low lunge. So from here you might want to get some extra cushion to support that back knee like we usually do, or roll the side of the mat up and make sure that that knee is protected. Even if it feels okay but hurts a little bit, it's better to protect the knee. Good, so feeling that lunge, getting a nice stretch here. And let's go ahead and release the hands down to the side. We're going to take 3 breaths. Inhale to reach the hands forward and up. Inhale. Exhale to open the hands out to the side. Nice wide opening. And inhale to reach forward. And exhale to open. Last time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, press the hands either side of the right foot. We're going to press deep into the left hand and twist to take the right hand up to the ceiling. Now from here, if you want to, you can press into that back toe and float the knee off of the mat. Let's try to stay here for 3 to 5 breaths. And on an exhale, soften that knee down, bringing that right hand back down. And we're going to take the hips back so that we can lengthen the right leg, flex the toes gently up to the ceiling, And just gently fold forward here. So we're getting a really deep stretch here on the calves, all the way up into the hamstrings. Using the breath to sink down deep into the pose. So try not to fold yourself forward or pull the weight forward, using the breath to let that happen. Softening the muscles. Particularly when we find that exhale. See if the exhale can soften ourselves down into the pose a little further. And inhale to just lift the head and open the heart. Exhale, come back into that lunge. Bring in both hands either side of the right foot. We're going to lift the back knee and step back into plank pose. Coming back into our Vinyasa. Exhale, lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, come into an upward facing dog. And exhale into downward facing dog. So let's take 2 breaths here just to catch our breath. Deep inhale and exhale. Deep inhale and exhale. So coming on to the other side, we're going to peel that left foot off of the mat. Press the foot straight back behind us so we see the hips are square. And slowly inhale to lengthen the leg up, feeling the hips open. And then finally, if you want to, bend in the knee to open the hips further. Working with the breath. Inhale to lengthen that leg, and exhale to find that rotation in the hips to bring the hips back in line with each other. Toes and knee point down to the mat. So bringing our knee forward like we did on the other side. The foot is going to come all the way in between the hands. So using that left hand to bring the foot forward if you need to, and pressing ourselves up into a high lunge. You can't quite see me here, so we're lengthening the arms all the way up to the ceiling, and we're just rotating the wrist to release the pressure there that we've got onto the wrists. Release them. Slow the breath down, take a few deep breaths if you need to, and then exhale the hands down either side of the left foot. Soften the right knee down, and we're coming into our low lunge. So from this low lunge, same thing as other side, protecting that knee. Roll the mat up underneath the knee if you need to. I've got a carpet here, so I've got lots of cushion, but if anyone else needs to protect that knee, then like I said, please do, okay? So sinking down into that lunge, feeling that stretch. And release the hands down to the side, taking our nice deep sweeps. Inhale to reach forward and up. Exhale to open. Inhale to sweep forward and up. And exhale to open the heart. One last time, inhale. And exhale. Bringing the hands either side of the foot. Press deep into the right hand. Twist to take the left hand up. Again, if we want to, lift in that back knee. But we can keep it down. Either way is fine. Working with 5 breaths here. And soften the knee down, exhale, bringing the left hand down, and then pushing our hips back, lengthening that left leg, flex the toes up to the ceiling, and we're going to work with the breath here. So like I said, a really deep stretch we're getting here, usually on the calves and the hamstrings, so really taking it slow, taking a deep inhale. And as we exhale, just see if we can soften the body forward rather than pull it or push it forward, relaxing the muscles at the same time. So it's really about listening to the body here. I mean, yoga is all about connection to ourselves, to the body, and we don't want to just do something without listening to what the body is saying to us. And inhale to just open the heart, gazing forward. And exhale to bring ourselves back into that lunge. Tucking the back toes under. Step that left foot back into plank pose. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, coming into upward facing dog. And exhale back into downward facing dog. So we're going to be coming up to standing now, so I will need to move the camera around. But before I move the camera, let's come up to standing. So we're going to lift the heels on an inhale, exhale, bend the knees. And as we bend the knees, just gaze forward in between the hands here. So we feel like we've got some nice sort of spring in the knees here. And that's what's going to bring ourselves forward as we step one foot forward and the other foot forward. Now from here, just tick-tock the feet slightly apart so we feel like they're nice and stable, maybe hip distance apart. Hold on to the elbows, release the head, and just gently rock from side to side. Take as many deep breaths as you want to. And the idea really here is to release all that tension out of the body. So try to relax the head as much as you can. And releasing hands away from elbows. Press the hands onto the shins and let's open the heart. Gazing forward. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to come into a deep forward fold. So bringing the chest forward towards the legs. Maybe wrap the hands around the calves and get a nice tight squeeze here. And exhale, bend the knees. We might feel the chest here, the rib cage drop onto the thighs, and then gaze forward as we lift and reach the hands and bring ourselves slowly up into standing. So we're going to reach the hands all the way up to the ceiling, press the palms together, and exhale the hands to the heart center. So hands are in Tadasana, and just take a moment here for yourself. So I'm just going to move the camera. If you're still in Tadasana, then just stay there, and hopefully we'll get an angle where you can see me for standing. Okay, I think that would do. So yeah, bringing our feet together if we're comfortable to do that. They still can be hip distance apart if you feel more stable. And bringing the hands back into Tadasana if you've come out of it. If you needed a moment to drink some water or just shake it out, then that's fine. We've spent a lot of time down and upside down in downward facing dog, so we might feel a little bit lightheaded here. So let's take a few deep breaths, keeping the eyes open. Deep inhale and exhale. Now, if we can, let's close the eyes. So I really like closing the eyes here in Tadasana. If you have come to my class a lot, then you'll know that I love to do this. And the reason why is just because we feel here, as we close our eyes, we need to trust our body to stay balanced. And I really like that feeling of feeling the body just gently shift from side to side, forward and back. And just notice how it does that all by itself, which is really nice. And also that balance is actually always moving rather than stillness. And I feel like we always think that balance is finding stillness, and actually balance is always moving. And let's just softly open the eyes here and come into the space. Relax the hands down to the side. We're going to step the right foot back, nice and long. So coming all the way back, lifting the hands up into Warrior One, rolling the shoulders down, finding space here in the neck. So as we come into Warrior One, we're pointing the toes slightly forward, if that feels comfortable. Can't really see my feet that well, but I'm pointing them slightly forward, not completely forward. The hips are also forward. And sinking down into that lunge. Really connecting into the feet here as we reach up towards the sky. And let's take a deep inhale. Exhale, just bring the hands into heart center and just open the hips here. So it's quite nice to change here, changing our shape into Warrior Two. So what we do as we change into Warrior Two is we do take that right foot all the way out, and it's parallel to the back of the mat roughly. Sinking down deep into the lunge and lengthen the arms out as well. So it's quite nice to check the back arms. Sometimes it's out to the side, or it's too high or too low. So see if it's stretched nicely. And then gazing over the left. Sinking down. And let's turn that left palm to face up. Inhale. Exhale, reach back into reverse warrior. Inhale, coming forward, bending that left hand, press it onto the left thigh, reach up and over with the right hand, come into extended side ankle. Lengthening that left leg, slide the left hand onto the ankle or shin, come into Trikonasana. Working with the breath. And then use those right fingertips to lift ourselves all the way back up. And we'll try that sequence again. Coming back into Warrior Two. Turn that left palm to face up. Exhale, reaching back. Reverse warrior. Inhale, coming back into Warrior Two. Bend that arm, place it onto the thigh just to support us, not to put our whole weight. So not sinking down. Reach the right hand up and over. And then lengthening that left leg. Slide the left hand down and gaze up towards the right hand. Triangle pose. Finding the breath. And let's bring ourselves all the way up. Exhale. We're going to point both toes forward now and come into our wide leg stand. So just trying to find the stance that's right for you. You can get wider as you lower down as well. So hands come onto the hips. Inhale just to open the heart. Exhale, folding ourselves forward. And releasing the hands down. Now, if we're not touching the mat and we're really tight in the legs, using a block, or if you have some books or something at home, then stack some books up and use them here to support you. Okay? And if you don't have anything there to help you, then I would suggest just keeping your hands on the hips and working here with the weight, with gravity. So if we're comfortable, press the hands into the mat or into a block or books and release the weight of the head down. So here, if you feel like you've got the flexibility and the space in the body, you can take the legs nice and wide and you can press the crown of the head down into the mat. Let's take 4 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last breath. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, slowly bending the knees, press into the hands and gaze forward. So if you took the legs nice and wide here, you might want to shuffle them back a little bit to come up safely, bringing the hands to the hips. Inhale, soften the knees, and exhale yourself all the way back up. Good. So we're going to come on to the other side by twisting the hips here. So inhale, the hands up and over the head. And exhale, twisting the feet and the hips to face the other side, coming into Warrior One. So take your time to find that pose. It's always good to sort of shuffle around and find yourself into a comfortable position in the pose. So we don't ever want to think we're doing the poses. We want to feel like we're actually there, we're getting somewhere. So if it takes longer to get there, that's totally fine. Working with the breath. And let's exhale the hands to the heart center and open the hips out to the side to come into Warrior Two. So again, shuffling those feet. Hips are now open, so my hips were facing forward and now they're open to face the camera. And we're lunging down. Good, so we're really trying to open the inner thigh here and not let the knee curve inwards. So finding space to open here and letting that knee really follow the line here of the toes. Lifting the arms up. So I can see on the camera that the angle looks like I'm leaning forward, but we're not leaning forward here, we're just sinking down into the hips. Arms are out in line with my shoulders, and we're turning that right palm to face up. Exhale, come into that reverse warrior. Inhale to come all the way back into Warrior Two. Bending that arm, place it onto the thigh. Reaching left hand up and over into extended side angle. So we don't want to collapse here and drop into the shoulders, so it's a gentle connection. And then lengthening that right leg. Slide that right hand down, holding onto the ankle. If this is too low for you, bring it higher up. Get into a comfortable position for your body. Gazing up at the left hand. Then use those left fingertips to start the energy lifting upwards. Come back into our Warrior Two. One more time, turn that right palm. Exhale, reaching back. Inhale, coming forward into extended side angle. Exhale, lengthen that right leg. Come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. And inhale, bringing ourselves all the way up. Pointing those toes to face forward again, this time interlacing the hands behind the back. Open the heart, roll the shoulders back here. Exhale, fold forward. We're going to bring those hands over towards the head and just let them fall. Again, not pulling them, not pressing them forward, just letting gravity do its job here. Relax the head and find the breath. So remember that in this pose here, if we want to get the most out of it, and our shoulders are tight, we might want to use a strap, like I've demonstrated to a lot of you before, holding onto the strap and then folding forward to really get that stretch in the shoulders. Let's take 2 more breaths. And slowly bending the knees. Keep the hands together here if we can. Slowly lifting ourselves up to avoid getting too dizzy. Release the hands here, let them float up. Let them float all the way above the head. Press the palms together. And we're going to twist those hips to face back over the left side here. So left foot is facing forward. We're going to come all the way down. Exhale, press the palms into the floor. Step back into our plank. And exhale to chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale here into our downward facing dog. So coming into our last downward facing dog here, let's take a few deep breaths. And let's lift the heels, bend the knees, take a deep inhale, gaze towards the hands, and we're going to step or jump ourselves forward into a seated position and come down here. Okay, so I'm going to just change our angle one more time. Bringing this back up here. Hi guys. And yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so we're going to come in here into Navasana pose. So feeling the sit bones grounded. Bring the knees up, gently floating the legs up as high as we can. So working with our body, lengthen the arms. Let's take 5 breaths here. And exhale, slowly coming down. Bring ourselves forward here into a forward bend. Release the hands, release the head. Just feel in the breath here in the body, slow down. And gently roll up through the spine. We're going to come all the way down onto the mat here. So let's point the knees up to the ceiling and let's lower ourselves all the way down. Let the heads be nice and free, so make sure you haven't got a ponytail in the way. And you just want to be able to graze the ankles here. So we're hip distance apart here, the knees are in line with the hips. And let's go ahead and press gently into the feet. coming up into our bridge pose. So this is variation 1 for bridge, and we're fine here if you're comfortable. If you want to interlace the fingers underneath, you can, and then roll onto the shoulders here. And we can get a little bit higher, a bit more space if you want to. We can also press into the toes and lift the heels. Let's come into 5 breaths. It's a really great pose to see the breath moving in the stomach, so you can watch the stomach rise on the inhale and fall on the exhale. And gently release the hands away and roll down through the spine really gently. Let's go ahead and hug the knees into the chest here. And just gently take a rock from side to side. Let's inhale to lengthen the feet up, reaching the hands to the soles of the feet. Really opening nice and wide here in the hips. Press the knees down to the floor. Come into a baby cradle. Gently rocking from side to side. So we should just feel the breath slowing down here. And gently bringing the legs back, bringing the knees down, the feet down, sorry, and we're going to open the knees out to the sides, soles of the feet together. Bring the hands onto the stomach, maybe one up into the higher abdominals and one lower. And let's close the eyes if we're comfortable, and just start to feel the breath slow down. So we're going to bring ourselves into Shavasana, relaxation. Lengthen the legs long on the mat. Bring the hands out to the sides, palms facing up. And if you want to get a blanket or get really cozy here, then go ahead and get yourself really cozy for Shavasana. Okay, so I'm just going to sit up in a cross-legged position and talk you through a guided Shavasana. So lying down on the mat and just feeling the palms open up to face the ceiling. And let's just start to let go of controlling the breath in any way. Listening to the breath again in the body. And just slowly feeling the crown of the head in the body. Bringing the awareness gently to the crown of the head. We're going to take that down into the eyes as we soften the eyes. And feel that travel down the face, the sides of the face, into the jaw and the mouth. Releasing and relaxing the tongue in the mouth. Really releasing the jaw. And separating the teeth if we can as well. let that travel down into the throat, into the neck, coming into the shoulders, and feel that sense of release travel down the arms into the elbows, the forearms, the wrist, hands and fingers. Letting go of any tension in the body. Finding some trust in our mat to hold us, to support us, so we can completely release in the body. And then bringing that sense of release and attention back to the chest area. We're going to travel down the chest. Take a moment to acknowledge our heart. Keep traveling down into the stomach, releasing any tension in the stomach. Letting go here. Let that take us down into the hips, feeling the hips heavy, the legs long and heavy. Releasing around the knees, down the calves. Release the ankles, the soles of the feet, and the toes. So we really get this sense of the whole body letting go, surrendering ourselves to relaxation. And just stay with this feeling for a minute. And let's just slowly start to find some movement in the fingers and the toes. Take a deep breath into the stomach. And a deep exhale. And a deep breath into the stomach. And a deep exhale. So just slowly taking your time, maybe take a stretch through the body, anything you need, and just roll yourself over to one side. I just want to really take our time to come out of Shavasana. I mean, take even longer than I'm giving you right now if you want to. Take as long as you need, or if you actually want to stay there, then just stay in Shavasana longer. And then slowly, if you are moving with me, take your time to come up into seated position. We'll just sit comfortably in a cross-leg position and finish our class how we always finish my classes, with our 3 deep breaths. So again, bringing our hands either to our knees facing up, keeping the palms open, or in our prayer position to the heart center. So our first breath is for ourselves always. We want to take a moment to inhale anything we need in this moment or tomorrow, whatever it is that we need. And if we're not sure, just as we inhale in with intention for ourselves. So here we go. Take a deep breath in. Taking in whatever you need for today or tomorrow or the week. And as we exhale, release that to ourselves. And take a second breath. We want to send energy outwards to someone or somewhere. Inhale. And exhale, send that energy away. And this cycle just reminds us that as we look after ourselves first, we have a lot of love and energy to send outwards. And finally, let's take a breath to honor and to thank everyone for our practice together today. Deep inhale. Inhale in gratitude for yourself, for your body, and if you've done this class with me, for actually getting your mat out and doing yoga. Exhale to release. Thank you so much, everyone. Namaste. Thank you so much. Come a little closer. Yeah. Thank you so much. I can't believe it's been an hour. Wow. You don't have to do all of the class. Take your time. I hope that's useful. Sorry about moving the angles around. I'll get better at this as I go along, I'm sure. It's a learning game. But yeah, wow, I did it, and I feel quite refreshed that I actually made a first yoga film. Cool. So yeah, let me know what you think, if you can hear me properly, if there's any feedback, if there's any poses anyone really wants to work on that I can talk you through. Probably what I would try to do is make a few more shorter films if possible, and then you can mix and match them in any way that you want to. I'll do some slower ones, gentle ones, and some ones that get the heart rate going more. Cool. So thank you so much again. Namaste, and see you soon. Thank you. Bye.